One of the biggest obstacles for non-natives when speaking English is giving their opinion. This is because they feel like they sound rude or maybe too direct, or they don't feel like themselves. This happens in business context and in casual context. Today, we're going to focus on the casual context. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn 3 native phrases that you can use to give your opinion in casual conversations with your friends, etc. I'm also going to tell you which of these 3 phrases you should use depending on your identity or personality. If you don't know who I am, my name is Daniel Cordova, owner of DC Fluency, where we've helped hundreds of students to find their fluency identity and feel like themselves when they speak English, just like when they speak their native language, like Spanish. The first opinion structure is, I like X as much as the next guy, but X. When do we use this? We use this when we want to show disagreement with something, or maybe we're softening being judgmental. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you have a friend who is drinking like 5 cups of coffee a day, and you want to give him advice, right? You tell him, hey, look, I like coffee as much as the next guy, but 5 cups a day is crazy. So this is a way of giving him your opinion without sounding too judgmental. You're telling him, hey, look, I understand you. I like coffee too. And you do that by saying, I like coffee as much as the next guy. And then you say, but, and then you give your opinion. 5 cups a day is way too much.
Now, I love women as much as the next guy, but don't throw your career away for one.
By the way, I'm leaving more examples with this structure in the description below. The next opinion structure is to politely reject an invitation. Let's say somebody asks you, oh, let's go have a coffee, but you know you can't make it, or maybe you don't like the person or whatever. You can say, I'm not much of a coffee person, but thanks. Now you're not making it about them or their invitation. You're making it about yourself. You're making it about you not liking coffee. So this is a nice opinionated way or structure to reject an invitation politely.
I'm not much of a drinker, really.
This next phrase is one of my favorite because it has different functions, and it's can't argue with that. And this is when you're telling the person that they're right about something, but it's a very genuine way of saying it, but it can also be sarcastic, which makes it pretty interesting. So let's say, for example, the genuine context. You have a friend who maybe slept like 10 hours for some reason. They slept in for 10 hours, and then you say, hey, why'd you sleep so much? And then they say, no, look, listen, I had a long day yesterday. This happened. I worked like a 12-hour shift. And by the way, sleep fixes everything. They say that. And you're like, well, can't argue with that. Because they made a good point. You're telling them, yes, you're right. I understand. You don't have to say anything else. Now, another context where it can be used sarcastically, let's say you have a friend who his boss is always promising things like, oh, I'm going to give you a raise. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But they never fulfill their promise. And so when your friend says, well, my boss says that if I work a 12-hour shift, he's going to give me a raise or whatever. And then you say, yeah, well, if he said that, you can't argue with that. So it's a sarcastic way of saying, well, we know who your boss is. You know the kind of person he is. He's not going to fulfill his promise. So these are the 3 phrases, my students, that you can use today with your friends in the casual conversation. But here's the thing. It's going to depend on your identity. Not every phrase I taught today is going to match your personality. That's why in my course, what we do is we find the student's personality and identity depending on their goals, their confidence, what they do for work, etc. We examine that, and then we package a course specifically for them where we show them, like, these are the phrases that match your identity. Make sure you focus on these. That way, when you give your opinion, my students, you sound like yourself and you don't sound like you're trying to be someone else. If this is something that interests you, I'm leaving a link down below to schedule a demo call. My course is for Latinos who are intermediate to advanced, usually who live in the US. And that way we can see if we can help you. And if we can, then we'll be here for you. Make sure you follow or subscribe for daily fluency tips. That's all for now. See you next time.